Auditor Heupel, will you lead in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First item on the agenda is to approve our agenda.
Move it. Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Feldheim. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, we've got the opportunity for public comment. Is there anyone here to speak to the Brown County Commission this morning? Either in person, out there on the phone, or internet? Anything anybody would like to discuss this morning? Seeing none, we'll move right along. Next up is Robert Gem. Not
Gem.
sure. Gem, okay. Northwestern Public Service Gas Franchise Renewal. Good morning.
Good morning. I am the real estate representative for Northwestern Energy in South Dakota, Nebraska, and I'm here before you today to renew our gas franchise. These franchises term out, expire every 20 years, and we have some gas work to be done in Brown County. So with this franchise renewal is just renews for our existing facilities along county highways under your jurisdiction. State highways are still under DOT. So this allows, through this franchise, allows permitting through the highway department for any new facilities. So this is just part of the layering of property rights, I guess, in the state of South Dakota and the permitting process for using public right-of-way.
Okay. The last time it was renewed was 20 years ago?
20-plus years ago.
Okay, all right.
So, I took this job about 4 years ago, and there are several that were expired throughout South Dakota, so I've been chipping away at them.
Catching
But
up.
I know we're looking to do a project up by Richmond Lake, so this really needs to be in place for any permitting along those highways.
So this is for both overhead, underground?
This is just natural gas.
Just natural gas?
Right.
Okay.
There's a separate franchise for the electric facilities, and that has a different public notification requirement, different process. So
Okay.
gas franchise is just a simpler process.
Okay.
20 years, does that franchise ever change an agreement in writing or anything over 20 years or 25 years? Does that ever change?
No.
Wording-wise, anything ever come up?
So this is just a sample resolution that we provide to your board for approval, when I take before every county in South Dakota. And so generally they adopt this resolution, and then this would be a resolution that governs that franchise and the permitting over that 20 years.
So is there any filing or anything with the registered deeds on it then, or is it just simply
It would be in
agreement?
the county commission minutes
Okay.
that this resolution's been adopted. To my knowledge, they're not recorded
Okay,
at the register of deeds.
okay. Interesting.
All right.
I'll move it.
Okay, we have a motion by
Second.
Fikert, second by Gage, to approve signing of the gas franchise renewal. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you in 20 years.
Well.
I won't, but somebody will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lynn, you'll send me a copy of that.
Yeah. All right, next up, Kelsey Vinger with Court Resource Home MOU. Good morning, Kelsey. Good morning, Ernest. Morning. Morning.
I tripped over the chair. So I had previously came to you with the grant application when I had applied for the court resource home. We have somebody that is going through the training process and is about a third of the way through the process of becoming our licensed court resource home. And so now I'm coming to you to ask for a signature on the memorandum of understanding, just identifying what LSS's role is in the process as well as the county's role. This was a grant, so identifying the payment structure and whatnot.
Okay.
Gotta make sure the paperwork's right in order to get the grant funding.
Absolutely.
Right. Any other questions for Kelsey or Ernest?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Fikert to approve signing the MOU for the court's resource home. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
That was easy.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Easiest part.
I mentioned it a little bit to Mike sometime back as we're working on juvenile diversion, just planting the seed to take a look at teen court. We don't have teen court anymore, but it does appear that there are funds still in the county budget. We would like to apply those, or we're at least planting the seed right now to apply those to a truancy court. We're not asking for any extra money or anything, just the money that's already budgeted for a program that no longer exists, to convert that into a truancy court. And like I said, I'm just planting the seed for further discussions on taking this same amount of money that's already budgeted for and making it productive for juveniles.
I tried to get in on the early end of those kind of things. There was quite a bit of
Truancy is-
discussion during the summer study on juvenile justice about
And
some of our
truancy
programs.
is a critical issue. If there's one area that we can try to impact, it's truancy. We have an opportunity sitting right here for us, without spending any more money than we've already allocated, to make a positive impact on a critical issue.
Sure.
How much money is there? Any idea at this point? I remember,
What, like $17,000?
because I think it started at about 25,000, if I remember right.
And that amount would be more than enough to do a Brown County truancy court.
Good.
So how would that be transferred? I wonder, is there a process, or is it just a matter of how it's billed? I wonder.
Budget adjustment.
And how to change the titles on that would be something I'd have to talk with Lynn about. I wanted to get it in front of you guys first, so we have a
Sounds to me like-
golden opportunity. Yep, it does. It sounds like this is low-hanging fruit for us.
Figure out the process that we need to do to switch those funds from teen court to truancy court, and we'll consider
Get
making
it
that
on the
happen.
agenda
You bet.
once we figure that process out.
You bet.
Those are grant dollars, right? Were they grant dollars?
Teen court, I don't think it was grant funded for the last couple of years, but historically it was. There was grant funding available this year. But since the idea was wrote for truancy court, the grant was not awarded to us. Because the idea needed to be that youth were sentencing youth, and that's just not a model that we could get behind. Especially when it came to truancy or family issues. We didn't want to be bringing any other juveniles into confidential matters. So grant funding was available and has been in the past, but not any longer for us.
And the amount that's sitting in the budget was not grant funds.
I guess that'd be the only thought that I would have, that if it was grant money, whether there'd be an issue as far as how it was spent or where it was moved to,
Right.
or whatever.
And
Right.
since it's not, we can, like I said, this is an opportunity for us to, without increasing anything. And because it's not grant, we can do this. We think we have the support of the courts on this. And not to go into too much detail because it wasn't put on the agenda, but had a chance to plant the seed and throw that out there.
Very good.
Thank you.
Look forward to talking more. Thank you. All right, next, approve and authorize to sign joint election agreement with Aberdeen School District, City of Aberdeen, and Brown County. That was in the packet. Everybody have a chance to review that?
That's for the 2024 election, correct?
Well, if they,
Is that-
it would start next year if there's anything like with the city or the school, if they have
School
anything.
board.
School board.
Yeah.
Standard builders, move.
Motion by Weiss,
Second?
second by Feldheim, to approve the joint election agreement. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, Erica Coughlin, HR Director. Compensation study and authorized chair to sign MOU with the union. Morning, Erica.
Good morning. Okay, we met with the union, and we were able to agree on a table in regards to the compensation study. So that table will be Plan A modified. So now, once the table has been agreed upon, we are able to move forward with the implementation piece of it and decide on how we want to implement the new wage study. Questions?
Any questions of Erica? The meeting you had yesterday went well, everybody was in agreement, and
Yes, it went very well yesterday.
good deal.
I don't know about agreement, but there's much better understanding of what we're doing and trying to do.
Yes. Lots of good questions, which is very well appreciated.
Well, I think the wage study was money well spent, we learned a lot from it, and I think it's gonna go a long way in hopefully improving, relations with all the Brown County employees, and so
Yeah.
I think we did the right thing.
Correct.
I'm glad that the union agreed, and so
Yep.
to accept our recommendation of which table to use.
Okay, so once we get that MOU back from the union, I'll get that over to you to have the chair sign, as long as you guys authorize the chair to sign that MOU with the union. And all that is regarding just that Plan A modified table. And then on there, it states that we are still negotiating the implementation of it.
So when do we let our employees know what the plan is?
That's pretty much what this is right now, and
And once that's signed, then we can,
we can continue to move forward.
I think, hadn't we talked last Tuesday about kind of opening it up today?
Yeah,
Correct.
because we're gonna have to make a decision.
Know what's going on.
And announce that soon, so I don't know if today's the day. I would be fine with that if we wanted to discuss the implementation, what our thought process is.
well, now that the union has agreed, that was the piece that was kind of out there, not knowing that we could make
The
the arrangements without the union's agreement, so now that we know that, and I think it's fine to,
Well, we've agreed on the table, but not the implementation, but we've laid out what our intentions are with the implementation, and they're considering that, and hopefully positively.
Basically, what the table allows us to do is go out and show all of the employees, okay, here's what your old wage was, here was what your new wage is calculated to be along with the equity, and then here's what the difference is. And then that difference is where we would negotiate the implementation piece of it. So right now, I can tell employees exactly where they're at on the table. It would just be, I can't tell you how it's going to be implemented yet.
So we have a plan, and we've laid it out for them, and it's up for their consideration, and I would expect we're gonna implement that plan for non-union employees.
Correct.
So does it take just one motion or two, one?
Just one.
Just one to sign the MOU.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any other questions?
We're making progress.
Good discussion, yeah.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion from Weiss to approve signing the
Second.
MOU, second by Gage. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We'll get that signed.
Wonderful, thank you guys.
You bet, thank you. All right, moving on to consent calendar. Lynn?
Approval of the general meeting minutes of November 22nd, 2022.
Move. Motion by Weiss,
second.
second by Feldheim. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claims.
Move. Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
HR report.
Move.
Motion by Fikert.
Second.
Second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, is there any other business to come before the Brown County Commission this morning? Ross, do you have anything at all?
Short week last week, so nothing really popped up.
Okay. We've had a request for executive session from our HR director to discuss personnel. Is there anything else? Do you have anything under legal, Ross?
Not unless you guys want an update on some things, but nothing's really pressing.
Okay. Entertain a motion to go into executive session for personnel.
Move.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Feldheim. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are in exec. All right, we're out of exec with no action as a result. Is there anything else?
Lynn, do you wanna have legal and contracts, or just a couple quick updates there?
Okay.
Anything else to come before the Brown County Commission this morning?
Move to adjourn.
Motion by
Second.
Feldheim, second by Weiss to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.